Hey guys, welcome back to Diane Dreams in Color. Today I would like to share with you my coloring plans for June. I have to admit that a lot of this is a result of the videos or the series of videos I just did on my completed coloring pages. I mentioned in the fourth video, which I'm not sure is going to be up, I'm not sure which I'm going to be posting first, but I fell in love with a lot of the books that I had forgotten about. And I also didn't like how many untouched books I have. I don't have a lot, but I really didn't think I had more than 3 or 4. I'm quite impulsive, so I do want to color in the books I get immediately, like as soon as I get them. So it's rare for me not to do that. So let's just get started with this video. And I'll go through all of the books. I've selected some pages in some of them so that we can see what I have in mind. Let me just move this over. Oh, I don't have any space on this desk, but let me try to find some. So this was a book that I thought might have ended up in my future video of books that I regret buying. And of course, it's not about the images. The images are gorgeous, right? I mean, it's Thomas Kinkade, it's Disney, but it's a very intimidating book to me. To try to match his paintings is going to be really, really hard. This is something that I had started, excuse me, I had already only done Tinkerbell, which was even embarrassing to say it was a whip, but I have started. My problem with the book is that I don't know how to do some of this. If you notice there are objects and faces in the clouds. There's also a lot of color variation. I would love to start this with watercolor and then go over it with pencil, but I don't have enough control over watercolor that I think I could do all of these variations of color. So I stopped. I became completely overwhelmed by it and thought, I can't do this. Let me just put this to the side. But when I started doing my completed and coloring book collection videos, I really liked the images and I thought, like, let me give it a shot. Like, even though I might have to do this all in pencil because I'm more familiar with pencil coloring than other media, but all right, so it's going to take me a while. Maybe I'm not finishing it in June, but I decided to give it a shot. I started to do some of the sky, but it's not coming out the way Thomas Kinkade did it, so I kind of stopped. I think I'm not going to try to do exact because it's stressing me out and it's not enjoyable. And this is my hobby. This should be relaxing. This should be fun. So I think I'm going to try to get close, but not worry too much about whether I'm getting it exact or getting it close. So that's what I'm doing. I also thought, let me start with things that I think I can color. And maybe that will help me visualize the page a little bit more so that I can do the sky. It might totally fail because I may love this and be even more intimidated to do the sky, but this is the page I'm going to be doing in June. It's the Tinkerbell page. So first page, Disney Dream Collection, Thomas Kinkade coloring book. Definitely going to at least start, maybe not finish that page. So that's my first book. And this is in no particular order. Another book that I noticed quite a bit was the Alphonse Mucha book. I don't know why I didn't color in it. The images are beautiful. The paper is not bad. It's not great, but it's very, very smooth. So it might not be good for pencil. So I don't know. I'm going to see how I want to approach this, but I didn't pick a particular image. I don't know which one I'm going to do yet, but I would like to get started in this book to at least say that it's not an untouched book. And I would like to finish something in it, not just get started. But so that's Alphonse Mucha. Next up, I have Layla Dooley, The Flower Year. I didn't touch this book in the past few months, so I was thinking of just doing the first page of the June section. I think it's really pretty. I think I would like to make it look summery, like whites and yellows and maybe some pinks, but I'm not sure yet of the color combinations, but I definitely think I want to start this page. So that is Layla Dooley, The Flower Year. Next up, I have Spooky. I think it's Christina's Art Corner that picks a page on Instagram, I think. Every month, I think this is what they did for either April or May, but I'm not exactly sure it's her. I'm not part of the group yet, but I would like to at least follow what they're doing so that I can get this book worked on. So I will do a page. I'll wait to see on Instagram which page is selected, and then I'll do that one. Next up, I have Magical Dawn by Hannah Carlson. I really like her images. And I love this bird. I don't know what it is. I've seen some really beautiful things on Instagram and on Pinterest. So I'm a little intimidated to start it, but I really want to. He's so gorgeous. So I think I'm gonna do him this in June. So we'll see what I do and what colors I choose. But I might do him dark and then the background light, but we'll see. So that is Magical Dawn by Hannah Carlson. Next up is another book that I rediscovered during the last video series of my coloring book collection. I did abandon this book, so to speak, because it was much darker than I thought it would be. I didn't know what to do with it, and at this time I only really had my Prismacolor pencils and watercolor. I now have alcohol markers, and since this is a one-sided book, I may try to do that as well. So I'll probably do a combination of my watercolor pencils, maybe watercolor, and some other media. So that is The Curiosity Shop by Chris Price. Another artist that hasn't been getting a lot of love is Joanna Basford. She was the first artist that I started coloring with, and I think that made me put her to the side for a while. I really like her style. I like her books. So I think I want to keep trying to color in them. They are beautiful images. I've picked a few. I thought maybe I would try one of the coloring combinations that a few people put out. You know, they usually use cards, or I think the Sarah Renee color cube cards are usually what I see people do. And I thought this would be kind of relaxing. I do have some, what I'm going to call stressful pages, because they're either complex or I have to try to fix them, or I don't know what to do with the backgrounds. So this might be a nice respite from all of the complicated images that I'm planning on. I've also wanted to get into a more summery mode, and I thought this one really did sort of candy, balloons, cakes. Not exactly summery, but I think it has a summer vibe, so I chose this page as a potential. And I don't know why I like this page. I normally do not like wallpaper pages, but it's so summery, lemons, you know. So again, this might be an image that I come to in between my more complicated images. Not sure, but again, this is one of the 3 pages in Worlds of Wonder that I'm considering for June. Yet another book that I rediscovered during the same video I keep mentioning, and that's Coloring with Your Octopus by Brian Kessinger. I've picked a couple. I have not colored in this book because I find it overwhelming. And it's basically the backgrounds. Okay, I can color this, but I don't know what to do back here. And a lot of these images have quite a bit of negative space, so I never felt brave enough to really color in it, but I think I'm determined to give it a shot. This is one that the background is not as bad as some other pages. Then I also chose this one, which kind of reminds me of being in Turkey with the lamps in the background. And it also gives me an idea of what to do in the background. Like I could do light effects. I'm not really good at that, but we're going to give it a shot. So it's most likely going to be this one, but I've marked the other just in case. This is a book that I love coloring in. I do not do it every month, but I try to do it often enough. I've picked a few pages. This is Wildflower Folk by Christine Caron. I've picked a few pages in it. I've never colored one of the children or childlike characters, so I thought maybe I would give that a shot. It's a beautiful image. Does remind me of spring or even summer, but probably more spring with the flowers. So that's a possibility. The next one is her. She's absolutely gorgeous. She is so beautiful. I don't know how to color her yet. I would like to do a darker skin tone here and then maybe a light effect around the moon. So that's what I'm thinking so far. There's a few people that come out with a hair/lips combination. And I think one is purple hair, purple lips. I don't know if that's really going to work here, but it's a possibility. And the next one, definitely a summer vibe. Not probably for the purple challenge, but a lot of aquas and blues and pinks might be pretty here. So any one of these 3 pages during June, I think I'm probably going to be happy with. This is one of the few books that I would like to complete eventually. It would be so cool to see this thing fully colored. So that is Wildflower Folk by Christine Caron. The next book is Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. This is a full book buddy color that we're working on. I didn't join right away, so some of my front cover pages are not colored completely or not colored at all, but we have about a third of the book colored, which is really exciting because that's the most I've finished of any book, so that's pretty cool. But the next page layout we have is this one. So as you could see, this is an enormous amount of detail. So we decided, thank goodness, that we would do this over a 2-month period instead of a 1-month period. But it is a beautiful spread. I don't know how to tackle it yet. I'm not sure what colors to use, but I'm probably going to try to do a limited color palette because I think it could be overwhelming if it has too many colors in it. So we'll see how I do this. So this is Ivy and the Inky Butterfly by Joanna Basford. This next book, I'm not too sure about it. I put it in my pile of things to color in June, but I'm not sure I'm actually going to make it. I would like to do at least one panel. There is a lot of detail in this book. Plus you have to think about, if you do sky here, blending it into the next page. So you're never really completely just doing one panel. So I eventually would like to complete this book. I only have 2 panels done, or 2 pages, and the rest are all blank. So I would love to see what this would look like, fully expanded, completely colored. So I put it in the pile. I'm not sure this one is going to make it, but it's kind of on my radar now. So soon I hope to get something done in this book. The next two books are recent purchases. This I just purchased from Lana Green on her Etsy shop. It is a stunning book. It is so absolutely gorgeous. These images are amazing. The paper is pretty good as well. I did this page. It's mostly pencil. I think the back is Tim Holtz Distress ink that took it that well. I don't think I have any watercolor on here. I'm not really too sure. So I don't know how the paper stands with watercolor, but I'm not sure I would be doing that yet. I think I'm going to be mostly pencils for the beginning. I feel more comfortable with that media, and I love this book so much. I do not want to screw this up. But I've selected 3 pages. I'll do one of them, not all 3. These take quite a bit of time. I love this look. I love her expression here. It's so expressive. I don't know if any other word to use, but it's just lovely. Then I have her. I'm considering her because it's more of like a summertime page. This is what Lana has done. So a lot of spring looking summery colors. So, you know, we're going into the summer now. It's getting warmer here in New York. So I was wondering about that page. I just love this image. She is so gorgeous. Her hair is amazing. Her face. I also think that it's a great summer picture because she's eating a peach and it's almost all peaches. I will try probably to imitate Lana Green's with adding maybe a little bit more saturation to the color to kind of make it more mine, but she's just so stunningly beautiful. And the last one I selected, I don't know if I'm going to do this one. It's definitely quirky, which I do love. So the image kind of fits me, but this looks more complicated. And I'm not sure if my level is up to doing something like this. So I've selected it because it's a great summer page. But I think probably one of the other images will be the one I end up choosing. But you never know. She's gorgeous, so it might be her too. But anyway, that's Garden Lady from Lana Green. It's Mechanica by Joe Benitez, I think is the name of the artist. I've selected 2 in here. She's kind of tough looking. I like her. Yeah, the breasts are just too large. They're awkward to me. So I don't know how to downplay them, but I might try to because I don't want them to be the focal point of this image. It should be more of her face to me, but not too sure. I have the same problem here with them. If I could minimize them in a way, again, her face is so beautiful. I would really like to focus on the hair and the face and be that more of the focal point rather than her physique, but we'll see. Most likely it'll be this one, but just in case my mood strikes it, it might be this one. So that is Mechanica by Joe Benitez. Next up is my second favorite book of my collection, and that's Dunkel Bundt by Sarah Richter. I have a few pages here selected. This one is really speaking to me even though it's not October. I might try to save it for the Halloween season, but there are plenty of other pages that I could do for Halloween that I don't need to save this one particularly. And it was speaking to me. I could see it really being dark and moody with maybe some golds. So that's a potential. Also, this picture speaks to me. Love her hair. It might be fun to sort of do this area of the hair where it's kind of buzz cut. I don't know how to do that, but it might be fun. So that one, and I have one more selected, and this is this beauty. This is the one I'm most attracted to right now. The eyes do bother me a little bit, so I don't know if I would leave them like that or try to put eyes in there. So I'm not sure what I would do. I think I want to look to see how some other people approached it. Maybe not having the eyes is not as creepy as I think it's going to be, but if it creeps me out too much, I'm going to have to put eyes in there. So I don't know. Any one of these 3 pages, I think I would be happy with. 1, 2, or that one. So that's Dunkel Bunt by Sarah Richter. So basically, that is all I have selected. I usually do between 10 and 15 pages. 12 is my sweet spot. That's usually what I complete in a month. I am a slow colorist. I like to enjoy it as well, so I don't want to rush past the process. So we'll see. But I also want to leave some space for my moods. Just in case some of these books are not something that I feel like working on, I can select something else. I will, during my completed pages next month, talk about what I added to my list. I want to see if I really can color and project what I'm going to color the month before. So it's going to be a fun exercise. I usually work on 3 images at one time. I get bored really easily, so I need to switch between 3 pages. This is going to be a little bit different with kind of figuring out what I might want to work on in advance. So I really enjoyed picking these books. It was fun selecting which pages I might like to do, and we'll see. It might be even more fun when I didn't do many of these next month. I don't know. So we're going to see how it goes. I hope you're going to be around for the ride with me. Thanks for coming by. Really appreciate it. If you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and I would love it if you would subscribe. It would really help me and the channel, and I would really like to have some buddies to color with. So thanks again. Take care. Bye.